The purpose of this show is to provoke discussion about issues that will not be seen on media that is politically correct and that is subsidized by the governments. Hence, if you think this show is a good idea, please support it. Press PayPal. And supporting right now is Dan McTeague. He is a former Liberal member of Parliament. He joins me because I want to talk to you, Dan, about the Liberal governments that you are part of that created and fostered bilingualism and the fact that the Liberal government now is supporting unilingualism in Quebec.
This is a shocking development, and anybody who has been a Liberal has supported bilingualism and biculturalism. Goes back to the Laurando-Dunton commissions. I'm not going to get really teary about these old documents, but understood that there was a place for Quebec within Canada and that Canada embraced Quebec both by acknowledging the French fact, not just in Quebec, but across the country. Guys like me who've never lived in Quebec, but who speak the language of Molière perfectly, this was an absolute abject abandonment by Justin Trudeau of the great strides were made by his father and that of Mike Pearson.
What's going on with this? Because we used to be a unilingual country, of course, and I remember when Quebec MPs would be in Ottawa, the whole country, the whole city, was English. Yeah. There was no translation. They had no idea what was going on. They were just told how to vote and stuff like that, and Trudeau certainly championed it, and it's fair and equitable across the country. Now, but for the Anglophones in Montreal and Quebec. I mean, it's just the reverse, and it's almost anti-nation.
Yeah, I don't understand what has motivated Justin Trudeau other than perhaps crass political attempts to win seats in Quebec.
More seats.
But this is a very dangerous road to embrace. I remember
somebody's out there right now. Why is it dangerous?
Well, I believe it's dangerous because it takes away, it takes basically the minority rights of French-speaking people in other provinces are now subject to the possibility their rights may be eliminated, their ability for their schools, the ability to express themselves, to have their presence before court honored in either official language. Look, you are either a bilingual country or you're not. Mr. Trudeau has basically reversed in one very quick political expedient move 50 to 60 years of tradition that has built this great nation and been an attraction for many others, and as well fostered a generation of people who are bilingual and who are very proud of that fact.
Well, let's just talk about that because of Quebecers throughout the world, working in Toronto, Vancouver, throughout the world, and if they grow up unilingual, then it's going to be a disaster as far as the building of the Quebec economy.
Look, our ability to reach out on languages, even in a digital world, it matters a lot.
Right.
And we can speak to many parts of the world, the Francophone summits that we participate in. The fact that people can choose to go in either language, I think, is a benefit. And not to mention the fact that they can pretty much express themselves in other languages. But if we're going to make this a numbers game and a political game in which numbers warrant, then I can suggest that we're going to have two effective nations. Perhaps that's what the separatists want, but it sure as hell shouldn't be what the Liberals want. We want to make sure that bilingualism survives from coast to coast. Mr. Trudeau is playing with fire, and unfortunately, it demonstrates one of the main reasons why so many traditional Liberals are probably going to vote against him.
Very passionate, very correct. Dan McTeague, thank you.
Good to be here.
3 minutes. Our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, recently stood up in the House of Commons and prefaced his remarks by saying, "And we will only work from the facts," quote, unquote, and then proceeded to lie by saying Britain was in a horrible, horrible third wave, trying to show, in fact, that Canada was not the worst in the world. Britain, though, had vaccines. Canada did not. And this was not reported in the mainstream Canadian media, the media paid for by Justin Trudeau. All of which, I'm telling you, is that it's important to have this 3-minute interview. Please subscribe, ask your friends to subscribe, and press that PayPal thing so we can continue on to bring you the news you otherwise might not know.